Deep sea dragonfish.
That's not it.
It's seven sea
Abyssal
creatures that would give H.P. Lovecraft
nightmare. Abyssal sea cucumber is on 7 fucking.
Colossal squid! That's exactly the thing that would fucking terrify H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah. So, welcome everyone. My name is Corrupted Lobster, and did you choose some nickname, or should I call you Bartek? just like this.
I am the chicken nugget scientist.
Okay, chicken nugget scientist.
Of
This
this
is a good,
podcast. You can call me Bartek as well.
You can call me
Bartek. You can call me Bart, just like the Bart.
I'm gonna call you
Simpson.
Bartek.
Or Tuptuś.
Or Bart, I don't know.
I do not care what you call me.
Okay, Hedgehog, yeah. Well, first the introduction. This podcast is about Dagon Story. Basically, it's gonna be a series of podcasts. I guess this is how you exactly should pronounce it. That.
Who cares?
Okay, and basically this is us talking about a specific story in every podcast. To be fair,
I know it's not very promising, but please bear with us.
yeah,
Give us a chance.
Okay, I am Corrupted Lobster. You are Bartek. So, so yeah, exactly. We're gonna talk about Dagon stories, and also we're gonna throw some insights how to put these stories in the actual RPG system. And we talk about RPGs like this old school one with sheets of paper,
like tabletop,
dice is rolling dice and thing.
Game Master and this
Actually, I have to say
structure that they have to hide the fact they do not know
what they're
the
doing.
system.
Yeah, basically they get all these.
They
What
are
am I doing? I'm gonna
throw
roll
the dice.
Yeah, from the dice. I'm gonna see yeah, exactly.
No,
I will tell you. All right. So the Dagon, right? You read it the first time. It was my third time or something like that. What do you think about it? It's your first Lovecraft story that you read?
Yes, it is. I cannot tell if it's a pro or a con, but I want more.
More?
I feel like something is missing, but also this is kind of the point that you don't get to know
Everything. Like you have to
Like,
connect the dots on your own.
You don't get to know basically anything.
Yeah, you just know there's a monster. Fuck. All right.
There is some weird stuff going on, and you don't really know what it's all about. It's like you are thrown into the middle of everything, and
you have to figure
know
out like
nothing more
what's going on.
than the characters in stories.
But I think that's great because you don't know that. I can like tell you and also you that mostly the Lovecraft stories are not connected to each other. This is like universe, right? Every stories are in the same universe, but the characters or even the gods itself does not connect with each other. Each of them is like independent. So if you got a Cthulhu and then Cthulhu, well, I'm sorry, I'm Polish, so I'm gonna pronounce it Cthulhu.
Because we can pronounce such things as consonant clusters.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have this in our language, and also I don't think anyone can actually pronounce what Cthulhu means. This is like this other language.
Only the English have a problem with saying
Grzegorz Brzęczyszczykiewicz.
chrząszczyże woszyce.
Yeah, exactly.
Kołody.
We have a good diction, so it's not about that. It's just about actually pronouncing this, right? Okay, but Dagon. Let's go back.
Yeah, we are digressing.
Yeah. So
I think that's gonna be something very common in this series of podcasts.
yeah, we're gonna digress a lot. Yeah. So, basically, the whole story. If you could just say what was it about.
Basically, there was this one guy, a former soldier, a veteran, who was kidnapped by some pirates. And
German pirates.
German
pirates.
Yeah. And surprisingly, it was World War One, or as he called it, the Great War. And surprisingly, they were treated so good that he managed to take a rowboat and escape. And he was drifting on the sea for a few days, and
well, he found some black land,
he found a black land which was kinda muddish, just
like dissolving bodies, fishes, and etc. etc.
It was like
nasty,
something that has just came.
Yeah, it just came from the ocean floor, like this mud who just would go up to the surface, like it would form.
And you know, it's not a thing that is common on the oceans.
Yeah, I guess I don't know
and
nothing about. I know nothing about oceans.
So he decided to. What would you do?
Well, basically, if I am stranded for, I don't know, like a week on the open Pacific Ocean. I can't see any island, so if I see some land, I would like to find some food. If I exactly remember, he got bread, but it was full. So he basically want to eat and drink something. And also, he reflects on some things, because this is kind of like you would read his diary. He is writing that from the point that he was rescued.
Kinda like...
this insane guy writing something in
the
in
very
his...
important thing, which I guess we forgot to mention, the guy was addicted to heroin. And
morphine. That depends from the from the translation, but in my because I use, of course, Polish translation, I'm gonna read in the original sometimes, but we use this. If you can just see, can it focus, please?
I don't know if you can see it.
I know. I'll show you. So we are using this, and this is really good translation, I must say. I read some Lovecraft letters, for example, and in the original, and this is actually show the way how he writes, but on the Polish language, basically. What I wanted to say, just in some translations it could be heroin, but in others it could be morphine, basically.
So basically, you kinda get discouraged to believe him that all of this happened, and also remember he had no protection from the sun, so it could also be a hallucination of sorts.
A seizure or something like that.
Basically, when you are stranded, I don't know if you can get stranded in the ocean, but basically he had no protection from the sun, and
no food, no water. He lost his mind, basically. And this is like the common for the actual Lovecraftian stories, I would say, that you, even if you are a reader, you can't really say if this is just some kind of insane or mental guy who is writing some stuff that he is imagining or hallucinating, or if you actually are reading a story that is put in this universe. And I think that's great. That is basically great, but that sets so much mood to it.
Also, you have the freedom of interpretation.
Yeah, if you believe that, what is canon? Well, welcome to Star Wars Expanded Universe. What actually is the canon? No,
is there any in Star Wars?
Yeah, right now it is. They stay like this.
They
I'm gonna say anything.
It's not canon.
Okay. But
Dagon shot first.
Yeah, Dagon shot first. Okay, but he goes to the land. He explores.
He also decided to explore during the day on a basically dead island with no plant life, no animals,
shadow, no anything. So he was just
like, was there anything to be afraid of in the night? I don't think so. And yet he decided that he would go exploring during the day.
Just
and
remember,
he later admits it was a mistake because he could also get some hallucinations from the sun again because he still didn't have any protection from the sun.
I just want to
You
say, just
might
remember.
not believe that, but on a lonely island, which has probably just emerged from the
Sea floor, ocean floor.
There is nothing to cover yourself.
Well, you could like cover yourself in the mud, and because of that, you could stay protected from. But yeah, I'm just speculating, alright?
And also, you can hide from the predator.
Yeah. But well, if that emerged, like he said, he knew or he assumed that this land emerged from the ocean floor.
This was the most sane, like explanation for everything.
Yeah, basically.
And yet, I wouldn't believe that if someone
it was
told
natural
me
or
that
something
story.
like that. Well, but he stayed there until the nightfall, and he finds a weird thing, I would say, and I'm not even talking about the Dagon, the monster itself.
Like basically he found
monolith, some kind of.
Yeah, he found some hill and decided that he would go there because it's the highest point in his.
So he could see all around it.
Yeah. He could maybe take a look and find something like, I don't know.
So from that you
some
can
rescue.
Yeah, from that you can say that he's not stupid, right? He's actually sane at this point. That he really thinks how he could.
Has some like embers of sanity.
Yeah, exactly.
In the whole situation, this is quite impressive. I must admit. And basically, he comes across some weird temple-like structure, and also it is full of some kinda hieroglyphs,
which he can't tell, even though he's seen, I think, some Egyptian hieroglyphs. He couldn't really recognize them.
Like it was nothing that he was familiar with, and yet it seemed well structured, like it was some real language, not just like caveman paintings. And what was weird was the fact that it resembled a lot of sea creatures, but they were
more like humanoid kind of creatures.
Yeah, like
they got legs and arms, basically.
Like one man, one fish.
Yeah, something which I hope would discuss in Isonmouth story, because well, basically they probably are descended from these creatures. So yeah, these creatures were.
Also,
how was it called? You Google that exactly how was it called? Because in Polish translation, it is basically the creature from the deep. This is the Polish translation.
I guess we will stick to that
because we couldn't find amazing abyssal sea cucumber, my favorite monster from Lovecraftian stories.
Giant squid, just the thing that Lovecraft feared the most.
Actually, probably he did, because he was probably he has something like thalassophobia or ichthyophobia, because you can say from his stories that he is really fascinated by it, and also he liked to put this insanity concept in his stories, and because he basically, I think, was insane in somehow. And this is why these stories are so good, in my opinion, because he's writing from his experience, I would say. So my assumption is he has something like ichthyophobia, fear, or thalassophobia, or something like that. But continue. Yeah, exactly. Giant squid.
Where was I before?
Monolith and hieroglyphs.
And another weird thing was that some creatures were kinda odd, because the sizes didn't match, and you had like small,
it was like
in real life they were, for example, small fish, and on the carvings they were human-sized or even bigger. And also he had a feeling that it resembled some Phoenician
Oh, I didn't remember that.
legends. Actually, the name Dagon is taken from Phoenician mythology. Mythos.
Another
whatever.
thing that Lovecraft liked to do, just take from the other mythologies and put it in his universe.
And actually, that's I guess immersive can be.
Yeah,
used
if
in
someone
this
is
case.
interested in
Like,
mythologies, I guess.
You see creatures which happened to. Nie wiem.
You don't know, alright.
Lovecraft used creatures which were part
Of
of
other
different
cultures and mythologies.
and
Mythos, I think. Mythos is the word in English for
was plural for mythos.
mythos. I think mythos is plural. I'm sorry, we are not English perfect. we are not English science kind of guys who learn.
I studied in English and I was kicked out from the university. I guess you can tell by now.
Yeah, I think we are not that terrible. I mean,
I've definitely
write in the comments. Please like and subscribe the channel and the thing. Yeah, we are doing. I am doing other things on this channel, so yeah.
I am not.
But you could be.
You know what?
I will show you.
can.
I will show you.
That's why they call me black.
No, please, no. Okay, but I'm gonna just move forward because we are stalling a little bit. He just, because it's in the night, right? He sees some shadow in this island that is climbing the mountain, and basically it resembles the creatures that he saw on the on this monolith. But basically it is so much bigger that it was shown. It has like 6 meters high, which is how many feet? Because well, we use metric system. We are in Europe.
In freedom units, it's gonna be like 18 feet, I suppose.
Yeah, I
Something like that.
18 feet. I think maybe more even.
It's like
no, okay.
3
Let's say
feet
20 feet. Let's say 20 feet, just in case, something like that.
I don't know. If you're not lazy too much, you can put it somewhere on the screen right now.
Yeah, I will. How many feet?
It will.
It will show like something
show
there, or maybe here, or I don't know exactly. I will show you.
There's plenty of space here.
I'm gonna put it on your forehead. Okay, but he shows this creature, and basically, well, he does what every sane person would do, but he's basically lost his senses probably right somewhere then.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, wouldn't you? After few days being stranded on the ocean and then seeing some creature, well, basically he runs for his life. If I remember correctly, to the boat, and he just row through the open ocean in that scenario, and he's rescued.
Yeah, he was lucky enough to find a boat.
Navy was isn't the Navy that he rescued? Okay, some boat rescued you basically.
I suppose it was Navy, and they also took him to the hospital, and they tried to treat him, but he remained silent about the whole creature
events
and this
because he
temple
didn't believe that they would believe him, and he didn't want to
Also,
seem more insane.
I wouldn't believe him, so I guess it was it was correct to assume that, and to be honest, he would probably stay a little bit longer in the hospital if he admit to all these things.
And I think he didn't want to because he felt this anxiety inside of him that this creature that he saw is...
In the beginning, he's also writing that...
that he is addicted, and he thinks that is observing... that this creature is observing him, and
the whole... even remembering the whole situation makes him sick and...
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of panic attacks, I think, and this kind of... Well, it's a trauma, right? He got just PTSD from it, I think.
I would be terrified, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Well, because there are different, like, reactions that you can get. I think there's flight or fight, and basically some people... I would think in that encounter, especially in RPG games, would just attack the creature even though they know that they have no chances to killing it.
The whole point of playing RPG games. It's not doing what you would do in real life.
Well, I would say yes, but not in Call of Cthulhu. Because Call of Cthulhu, well, there are consequences of your action. I mean, in D&D, you can just lose all your hit points and be unconscious and then lose.
We will come to that later.
Yeah,
let's we have to finish
the story, and then we go to another topic.
Basically, the whole thing ends.
Please like and subscribe. That really helps. Bye. No, please.
Actually,
continue.
No. You're gonna have to stay with us a little bit longer. So basically, the story is actually some kind of suicide letter, and the person writing this letter is suddenly. It's not a panic attack in this strict sense, but
he's feeling that he is going to die in any second.
Yes, and
he's writing it,
he suddenly stops the writing and writes window, and that's the end of the story.
But well, one thing that I want to put, that he hears actually, and we don't know if that's a part of his insanity or it's the actual Dagon that just tracked him down, because well, Dagon is one of the old gods basically in the Lovecraftian in Cthulhu myths. Myths?
One of these?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put it on the screen.
We're gonna put the IPA pronunciation.
Yeah, because because basically he hears like this mass. Well, just how is it called? On the other side of the door, that is hitting basically. That is moving. And well, he just basically jumps out of the window, I think, and probably dies, because we don't know how many stories there were.
In the beginning, he writes that he will write what he wants to leave after him, and then he's gonna jump out of the window on the street below, and he's gonna probably die. So yeah. I guess this is the end of the story, but
I think it's cool.
I guess it's Lovecraft kind of thing to leave it unfinished.
Yeah, because you feel the suspense and exactly the terror that is inside of it, because it catches him, even though if it's not really catches him, his insanity catches with him and make him jumping down the window.
Insanity is the real monster in this story.
I think he also had some kind of visions when he was sleeping. Before he write this story, I think he mentions that he is seeing the monolith, he's seeing the Dagon,
and basically insomniac kind of things, maybe even parasomniac, because parasomnia is basically something when you sleep and you have sleep deprivation, not because you don't want to sleep, but because you are feeling like something is going to something is going to attack you while you are sleeping, or you got some nightmare or something like that. Not only will you have a good laugh here, but also you will learn some pretty nice words, sophisticated ones even.
Well, I would like to know simple words if we talk about English, because sometimes I'm just stuck and I don't know how to speak it properly. But is that actually, I think is that the story basically? So, in summarize, there is a guy who is attacked by the pirates. He goes to the boat. He swims for the few days, and he does not have anything to eat or drink instead of bread. He goes to the island, which is black, covered in some kind of dissolving parts of fish's body or something like that. He finds a monolith. He sees a Dagon. Probably the Dagon, it's never right exactly in the story, but the name of the story is Dagon.
It's important that
Title,
no real reference to Dagon himself appears, but it's kind of contextual.
Yeah, it's between the words. Like you have to just look. Just believe me. If you're gonna read the story, you will know that.
You know the title, so
yeah.
You assume it's Dagon, but you have the freedom of interpretation.
Yeah, and that's great, I think. And well, he runs away. He goes to the unmentioned city. I guess it's Boston or something like that. And well, he probably dies there, writing this letter that you read, basically.
Or maybe he doesn't.
Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he lives
Which is
happily
even
ever
worse,
after.
actually.
Yeah, because he's insane and he believes that.
Like he's spiraling down this insanity
Yeah.
carousel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, to the next point. Okay, here we are again. Welcome, Voices from the Deep. The most amazing podcast in the YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Corrupted Lobster, Bartek over here, co-host of this podcast.
Chicken nugget scientist.
Yeah, so I'm sorry,
also
chicken nugget scientist.
The only bald Amish you will ever see in the internet.
So the other part of the podcast, we would like to consider that story with this book. This is Call of Cthulhu, also Polish edition, 7th edition to be fair, and it's a keeper book. I'm gonna just have it on my laps, that we can find actually Dagon and other things, so you can just stall and say some joke, for example, when I am looking for it.
I have already told my joke.
Tell another one. Okay, moving on to the next point.
Dagon!
Dagon, yeah, exactly. From what I can tell from the, well, you are a player of Call of Cthulhu, like this researcher, I am the keeper, basically, or game master, if you wish. So basically, I got here an rule book, that you can see. Well,
I don't know if you can see it.
Well, that doesn't matter. Basically, I can read here about Dagon and Hydra. Well, Dagon and Hydra are basically like considered as a one god, old god, and basically, if you are introducing Dagon to your RPG, then basically, if you want to introduce Hydra as well, you just give them the same statistics. And what you can say from statistics aren't that bad, but they got only
as expected from
from the god, but which is bizarre that other gods has like
another joke.
Like, oh, here it is. Like for example, 100 hit points, and they had only 55. So I would say this is the weakest god that you can meet in Lovecraftian stories.
You get a lot of different gods, and they are like
super overpowered. Well, Dagon isn't exactly super overpowered.
Huge.
Yeah, huge.
They are terrifying. You have Cthulhu, which is some kinda squid, but also a human, and it's sleeping.
Oh, well, and
God knows,
amazing.
God knows where.
He got like 500 hit points and also can be killed.
There's also Azathoth,
which is the most fucked up god that you can choose to be a cultist.
Which is
as big as
the solar system, and then you have like 6 meters.
Yeah,
tall,
6 meters.
Like fishy kind of
there are fucking worms that are bigger than it in the Lovecraftian stories. But
have you heard about Mongolian desert worm or sandworm, something like that?
No.
Then I'm not gonna tell you about it because it's not about this podcast. It's not
about
that.
Dagon. Well, so Dagon basically, I would say, it's my opinion, and I'm considering their rulebook as the actual source of my information from that. He's like the weakest god that you can meet, I would say. He's not weak though. He's overpowered. I must say, into consideration with other creatures that you can meet in the Lovecraftian universe, but. He is the weakest. So if you want to, actually, I think Dagon would be perfect as the old god if you want to It would introduce them to the players as the first one, I would say, because it is possible they are going to live if they meet him, basically.
It's like he's OP, but
not too OP, not too OP,
too.
not like Cthulhu or Cthulhu.
He's OP, but he's not broken.
Well, yeah, exactly. The difference is that here is Cthulhu, and Cthulhu has like overpowered. Is overpowered. You can't kill him, and even though he loses all his hit points, you can't kill him. And I think that's a good thing because the whole point of Cthulhu, and in the story that we're gonna read probably
even
later,
Death dies with weird eons.
Well, yeah, but not in this case. Well, Cthulhu is just immortal, and you can't kill him, basically.
I mean, that's the whole point.
I know.
Of these, all of these gods, but
well, Dagon is the easiest to, I think, summon and also to be unsummoned. I don't know what's the actual expression. To be sent away, sent back. So basically, if you, for example, meet some old god like Azathoth or Cthulhu, you basically roll the dice that you can get almost, in the worst case scenario, you can lose like 100 sanity points, which basically means your character is dead. If you lose more than 40 in one sessions, then basically you can't use that character. When the most that you can get from seeing the Dagon is 10. So I would say it's not really exactly connected with the actual story, because from the story we can say that he loses so many. We're not even
sure if it was Dagon himself.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, and he loses so much sanity points that would
drugs and he basically probably kills himself after that.
Yeah.
He's getting nightmares and so on, and in RPG 10 sanity points is
it's not
quite
that
a
much,
lot,
but not that much if you see the god, basically.
It's like I can
take that. I can take that. I can take that. Okay. I mean, roll the scene. I'm gonna play.
Could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. Exactly. So, and also his attacks are like kicking, attacking with his palms or his hands, would say, with his claws. I don't know, biting. Jumping. This is his attacks. He doesn't have.
It's not
like magical. Yeah, it's not magical. It's just basically the monster that you meet, and you basically want to kill it. I don't know. Probably if you can't kill it because that's the point, but you can send it away quite easily. I would say into.
I guess you can
summarize.
knock it out.
Yeah, or something like that.
Run away, or at least.
Well, you could try.
To
you can try.
Slow it down.
That's the point, that you can try with Dagon. For example, with Azathoth, you can't try it. Basically,
or
if
maybe
Azathoth,
you can try to become a cultist.
And this will give you perks.
Maybe he will spare you.
Spare you and give you perks. Give you. Well, this is kinda weird thing, because from the actual book, the Dagon can give you spells, but he does not use the spells himself, from what I see. Oh no, he knows. I'm sorry, I didn't read that. So he knows some spells, so he can use that, but these are not offensive in any way spells.
A professional keeper, dear audience, like, he knows everything, and I have just realized that I don't have to listen to his rules while I play with him, and you know what? I shall not.
Okay, so yeah, he got spells, I can tell, but they're not like something terrible. They can basically summon some minions or something like that by his spells. So let's say that's...
Which also have some weak points, which are kinda maybe not obvious, but
you can figure them out.
Like, if your keeper tells you the exact looks of these minions,
that you can tell what should you
could
attack.
Work it out.
Okay, there is another thing which we will call a creature from the deep, and basically I'm gonna show it here. It's gonna focus on some point. Okay, so this is basically it, and this is the kind of creature that he saw on the monoliths. What can I tell? It's much weaker than the actual Dagon or Hydra. It's got like 2 meters high, so I guess it's 6'2", something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah.
I guess it's something
I
like
don't
that.
know.
It's
when
much
you-
smaller.
When
basically.
you have yachts, you know that you divide the number of the feet by 3 and you get meters.
Yeah, basically something almost,
So.
well, I am just happy that metric system wasn't invented by someone who is just throwing random numbers and saying this is it or this is that.
I still don't know how the Fahrenheit works.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
only know
I
that
don't know. I really
zero
don't know.
will kill you
Celsius
and
or
100
Kelvin,
will
Kelvin
kill you.
or Celsius. Just keep that in mind. It's so simple. It's much simpler than Fahrenheit. Kelvin or Celsius. Let's
How
keep that.
many ounces in a gallon?
How many in a gallon? Actually, I
suppose
remember that. It's like 3.5 liter, something like that, I think, or 2.5 liter. It's a gallon.
A gallon is something
Ounces,
like 4
ounces.
liters, but ounces I suppose
Uh,
128, but I don't know.
Almost 4 liters in 1 gallon.
Okay, but how many ounces though? I think 1 ounce is
And
like
why do you
28
have-
millimeters.
Ounces for fluids and also other ounces for freaking solids.
And the same thing with pounds. You have pounds for weight and pounds of the currency. If you are from England, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly. This is why I say quid. This is why I say quid.
1 US gallon is 128 US fluid ounces.
128 fuel. Well, this does not.
That's what I said, and
How do you do maths in America, basically? Because this is
they don't. They don't.
because
They
this
just
is,
have
this
to
is bizarre
memorize
for me.
everything.
Yeah,
You have to memorize every single equation.
Well, this is why. Well, I think that's kind of. Okay, you want to say something? No.
We
Because
are
I was
talking to
having-
our camera woman.
Yeah. Very great. I can put your social media if you want under the video. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, the creature from the deep. Basically, it's almost like a human.
And it also doesn't use freedom units, it uses normal metric system.
Well, it lives in the Massachusetts, so basically, I think they're using.
But it's more civilized.
Imperial units, yeah? This is what it's called. Imperial units. Actually, food.
Freedom units.
Imperial.
America!
Okay, they are also not using spells. Yeah, they can have like 4 spells at best. But basically they use just hitting, fighting, just using their claws and teeth. So basically it's more like an animal, but they are smart enough, maybe smarter than human, even though. So yeah, that's it. And this is a smaller Dagon basically. And well, now let's talk about how you can put the Dagon story in the actual RPG, because I think this is a great opening or closing this the campaign, but I wouldn't put that in the middle. It's just throwing off.
Yeah, it's good when you want to, for example, introduce characters to each other.
Yeah. Stuck in
So
the boat for a
they
few
are
days.
Stuck in the boat together, they have to get to know each other, maybe there will be first conflicts between them. And
Maybe conflict for food, for water, something
and
like that.
then they finally meet some creature that is like the beginning, the top of the mountain. That was unprofessional.
Yeah.
Woman.
I'm sorry.
But we are so
Yeah.
cultured, and we are so
Yeah.
we say camera woman, not camera. I would say that we are very well. Continue about the because character
Like,
can meet.
It's the first thing, supernatural thing that happens to them, and it might be a good beginning because they might be interested in it or haunted by this creature.
And
that
you can
they
make it
met.
antagonist, for example, for the whole campaign, because they want to just learn how to protect from it, and then you can make like this whole finale where they fighting it or something like that. That would be cool.
Or it's just that they come to some knowledgeable, for example, professor to ask about the symbols that they met,
see.
and there is some secret in it, and something is not. It doesn't connect at the first glance, and basically these people will be thrown into some supernatural occurrences against their will, maybe.
Yeah, and also this like puts the pressure on them to actually investigate that, because I think this is the biggest problem for the MG, for me, to when I'm writing the story and I have to engage you somehow, because you can just tell me basically, if you are playing as the character, why should I do this if I'm not interested in that? Basically you play as an Amish, right? So why should you go for some fish creature that is attacking some people if you are not even believing that? And why should the Amish, for example, be in this place? That's the point. Or I don't know, journalists or something like that. Journalists is maybe easier to put in this kind of scenario.
Journalists may want to
make
write an article.
Yeah, article or something like that.
Usually journalists have some drive within them that...
But for example, physical worker or blue collar worker, how he would be engaged if from... You have to think about that, but in this story you get the simplest example how to engage them. Because if they are going to play well as the characters, they can say that I have to pursue through knowledge to know about this creature, because I'm just so terribly scared of that I could like the person if the story.
I don't know, maybe they want to somehow get to know the topic and try to rationalize the whole thing, or maybe they... I have no idea what else could happen.
They can meet in the tavern like in basic D&D story.
For example,
go for that adventure.
If you have a priest in your party, then, for example, they can think that it is some kind of demon or even some manifestation of evil forces that they have to fight, for example, and.
This is what I wanna.
It's priests' work to exorcise, kinda.
This is what I wanna talk before, that this RPG system basically doesn't really. It isn't easy for the player as the game master, because in D&D you can just say, you are a dwarf, for an adventure, and well go.
Like,
exactly.
That's the whole point. You wanna slay some monsters and so on.
Yeah, but in this. RPG, you got weapon, you got tools, you got everything, but do you really want to fight something that you see for the first time? You don't know hit points of that thing, you don't know the strength of that thing, besides that what I am going to describe you, that is a big like a house or something like that. And even
realized I do not want to do that.
Yeah, you do not want to do that, but you are doing that.
Let's leave it. Fucking leave it.
Yeah, well, let's go. But, well, the other thing that you can do if you are not doing...
And then it pursues you.
Yeah, then it pursues you. For example, like with Azathoth.
You want it to leave you alone, and it comes crawling back.
You can always hear that in the woods when you are going, or I don't know, in the back of your head. In this sleep.
Or maybe it's just your
imagination, your sanity or insanity in this scenario.
If it's only your imagination and you see some connection with that, you can also say that it's still haunting you.
Yes. No, don't do that.
I just did.
No, please.
You cannot undo it.
No, I can cut it out. All right. Yeah, that's the whole point. But well, I wouldn't even say that the RPG wants you to pursue like in physical way to attack these things, because basically if you're gonna attack,
It's
for example,
the last thing you can
yeah,
do.
the last thing you should do, in my opinion, if you don't know what is capable of doing, this creature what is capable of doing.
Basically, if you want to speedrun any
Any percent,
any percent,
attack everything basically.
No, you run for your freaking life.
Yeah, but for example, this last encounter that we have, even between two persons, right? Two characters, that basically 2 shots from the revolver in this game makes you die. Or 1 shot, one well-aimed shot can make you die. So you don't want to... The fighting is the last thing that you want to do. So this is why the problem comes, because in the end you can just throw the swarms of enemies or some kind of giant, some kind of boss or something like that, and you can be very lazy about it. I mean, you still got an amazing story, amazing NPCs, amazing characters, but you can like cheat a little bit by putting these obstacles. In this kind of scenarios, you can't really do it. The story has to be good enough
to engage the players.
Yeah, to engage the players, then throwing the enemies at them. But you didn't play that, and it's connected with the Dagon, I would say. There is a free RPG that I would link down below, free scenario, which is called The Beacon Island. Very cool. There is written that it takes like 1 hour. I would really recommend you to play it for like 4, because then you can actually describe enough everything that is going on, and you get close space because it's a small island with the beacon tower basically, and like sea beacon, something like the ships see when they are going to harbor. And you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
because I don't know if you knew the exact word for it.
I'm just thinking about Beacon Island being called Beacon Island and having a beacon on it.
Yeah, but basically,
Island.
the whole story is about the minions of the creatures from the deep, basically, I think, and it's connected especially is with Dagon, because you got Dagon coins lying all over the island, and you have to figure out why they are there. And this is exactly how much the story have to be well written. But even though if it's well written, you have to consider that players are gonna play this differently. So, for example, I retell the whole story in the slightest how is it called in English? Szczegół? Detail, in slightest detail, and then, for example, Bartek wants to, I don't know, buy a hot dog, which I didn't really think about to this point, I would say.
I mean, you could say that there's nowhere to buy hot dogs.
Yeah, but this is killing the mood, I would say.
But it's like, I don't know, saying that you don't understand imperial system.
Yeah. Also, I would say you have to learn how to improv, I would say, because if you are, it's the whole point of playing RPG games like this written one isn't to be a PC RPG game. So you can actually do everything. You want to take a rock and throw it at someone, you can do it. You want to take a stick and make a fire.
I mean, a perfect CRPG would be
but you can make that mechanics, and you get every simple mechanics.
There's no engine to run it, because
it would be so
demanding.
Non-computer would
run
it. Yeah, even though it would make it.
Opłacalny?
Price. It would be cheap enough. The
company making such a game wouldn't make profit from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody would buy it. It's like Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, I don't like this game. I am Polish and I don't like this game. To be fair.
How can you not like a game Polish
I didn't even like Witcher before, so I have to like play it 2 times to actually like this game. So yeah, I didn't like Witcher. I liked books. I liked even the old movie and this series that came last time.
I just remembered the
dragon from
the dragon from the original Witcher.
Yeah. I really recommend you to watch it. If you want to.
Maybe we will put some link to
exactly, because it's on
Smoku.
YouTube.
Jesteś piękny.
Yeah, exactly. But that's kinda the point. And for example, in this case scenario, if you don't want to fight, basically, if someone, for example, want to draw a weapon, draw a saber or something like that, it's the World War One. I mean the Great War. This is the times that the whole events are happening mostly. So I think that some aristocrat could have a saber, for example, and attack you. You don't have to wait for him to like put it out and attack you. You can just say that I am grabbing his hand and don't let him to draw the sword. And you can basically do that in this.
Or you can just say I kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Before he gonna draw his. And I have to play with it.
Good and bad because the D&D system for fights is quite good because you have some rules about it and it's kinda predictable, but also it's well structured, which is good if you have OCD or are on autism spectrum. And I don't want to offend anyone. Please do not cancel us.
I'm sorry, I heard only D&D and I was just... Okay.
I am your PR specialist.
Yeah, PR specialist. Okay, let's do something controversial. Let's show the ass to the camera.
I can.
No. Yeah, and then
But
people
really,
gonna think that Polish people are even more barbarian than they felt before. Okay.
I just wanna specify that we are not Russians and we have no vodka here.
Yeah, we got like...
Which is kinda unfortunate, but
it'll be
I
better
suppose
podcast.
that it would escalate too much. Cut!
But... I think actually we cover all topics here.
Almost. What I wanted to highlight is that it is also a good story to play some one-shot RPG.
Just to show what the environment is about,
For
what
example,
the universe is
you want to
about.
start some campaign and some of your friends don't know if they exactly like this kind of game because
they never played.
Didn't play it before, and they can see for themselves, participate in it, and the other guys who would like to play don't lose anything and also get familiar with the system if they don't know it already. So I guess it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, and we would rate that story, right? Because I want to rate everything, but I would give it, because it's short. It's really short. It's got like, I don't know, 10, 15 pages, something like that.
The audiobook was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
As a usual audiobook, so
it wasn't like fast or something like that. I would give it a strong 6 though, because I read you read different
out of
10, because basically this story is great. Maybe 7, because this story is great. It's short. It's really keeps you engaged, and it's interesting. But on the Lovecraft standards, I would give it 6 because for me it was actually too short, basically. And the other thing is, I'm gonna talk about this in another podcast episode, I will say. But I would give it a 6-7, maybe 6.5, because it was good. But you read your first Lovecraftian story, so you couldn't really judge that through the Lovecraftian concept. You can judge that from the overall stories, I would say. But in the Lovecraftian context, I would give it 6.5. In overall, I would give it an 8, to be fair, because it's cool. It keeps you engaged.
Standalone story.
Yeah, standalone story.
It leaves some hunger for more, but also I got a feeling that it's lacking something.
Yeah, because
I can't really say what, but there was something missing for me. Like I would like more, and in this negative kind of sense also, because there wasn't really anything in particular which like clicked in my mind.
Okay. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this episode of Voices from the Deep podcast. And also, there will be new episodes, I hope.
If we
There will be.
Cancelled because
Yeah.
of the official Corrupted Lobsters chicken nugget and PR scientist.
Yeah, exactly. So that was basically it. And I hope you enjoyed it. So see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Did you see that you are actually not visible on the screen because you are sitting too far, and now you are well. Help me.